Hello everyone, my name is AP the Word One, and welcome back to episode 7-8 of Full Metal Panic, Giant Killing and One Man Army. These two episodes are essentially a back-to-back fighting episode, with episode 8 being the better of the two. In all honesty, I feel as though 7 could be skipped. There is some establishment, but it doesn't really matter, and 8's the true meat and potatoes of this arc, essentially. So, episode 7, we have Sosuke challenging the police chief. He's chosen Agamemnon as provided him with a Mithril's M9, and also piloted by someone who was a former member of Mithril. The big takeaway is he gets to talk to him and kind of learn a little bit about the what happened to the base and everything. That's probably the only big moment. There is the tease of, so while they're doing the fighting, Nami and her group do get sent away. Nami getting sent to Kurama, and let me think who else. And the others were led to a pig feed in order to get slaughtered, but Mr.Lemon and his special forces come and save them. Unfortunately, Nami is a different case. Most of the episode is just basically Sosuke battling against the M9. The fight isn't really that impressive. I don't know. It's all right in all things considered, but I mean, Sosuke only ends up beating because he understands it, and basically he gets him into a trap. He gets him into a building, of course, in the crumble, and the reason he ends up winning is because this thing has all electronics. It is electronic based, whereas the M9 Gurn's back, it has a hydraulic, and it's a lot tougher than the M9, so that's kind of basically how it wins. I thought he actually killed the pilot, but he just more or less disabled it. So it was mostly that, and then of course there's a finishing squad that was meant to kill him, but then Sosuke uses the grappling from the M9 and just pulls it down. That was probably the most impressive scene, him just lassoing a helicopter and just pulling it down. Another thing to, I guess, note is Kurama looks a little bit sicker in this episode. Like he's lost some weight, like it's taken a toll on him. He was a former smoker, but I think the stress of dealing with Sosuke and Sosuke coming after him has definitely put a little bit of weight on his shoulders. At least that's what it looked like to me. But that's essentially episode 8, episode 7, Giant Killing. Then we have episode 9. Now, episode 8's big thing. Nami is, of course, captured, and Kurama is, at the end of the episode, as Sosuke surrender or I kill this girl. He does a countdown, but then basically halfway through, which it leads in the beginning of beginning of episode 8, just straight up kills her. This moment's it was brutal in the light novel because I read the light novel first. It still had this impact, but I'll talk about it at the very end. But yeah, she gets shot in the back. I can understand why Sosuke he tried to save her. I mean, but there was just too many forces, and he's more concerned with saving Kamina rather than Nami. She means more to him. And in fact, in episode 8, he kind of actually had a prediction that she would actually die. So it's definitely a bit of a forestall. But Kurama gets him wild up and basically leads him into the city, where he basically dukes out with the former pilots of the arena. Episode 8 is I like episode 8 because it just Sosuke's one-man army destroying them mercilessly. It's a really good fun. But there's other reasons. Before we get into the big showing is between him and Kurama. We do learn that Mr.Lemon is part of French Special Forces or French Secret Service. I thought he was from Mithril, but I was wrong. I just think he will continue to be. He remains relevant in the story, so to speak. He's going to be big continuing. But after Sosuke does his rampage in the city and goes on with Kurama, these two have a bit of gunfight, and unfortunately Kurama gets him into a situation and basically almost kills him. And if it wasn't for the French DGS, being right there and then to support him and give him backup. He kind of goes lone army, but then they come in and kind of save him basically, or give him a distraction, which allows Sosuke to do allows him to get the upper hand on Kurama later. And the reason he basically survived is because his love for Kamina. He says, like, Kurama's like, why do you survive? Is it because of love? Like, yeah, and what's wrong with that? It's a good moment. Like, yeah, Sasuke admits that he's falling in love. And yeah, he does get Kurama. The big takeaway from this is he gets Kurama to tell him about 3 different locations that Kamina could potentially be. There could be more. 2 of them being Granada and San Carlos. Granada is in Spain. San Carlos is in America. And then the other one is Nisolo, which is a fictional place. I'm assuming maybe in Italy, I think. Not 100% sure. Let's see what the light novel has to say. But and then the final takeaway is we realize there is an Arbalex 8, and I believe that it's the one guy from who is in Hong Kong. He gets the RX-8, and then Wraith brings in Al, I believe, is what she has. She has Al's body or computer. So 8 is the big meat and potatoes. It's the bigger episode, and I think for this arc, to me, like just watching the anime, it feels a little bit lackluster. I'm like, yeah, this is the in-between. We kind of have to catch up with Sosuke, see what he's up to, like his direction, kind of give him some way to get going. I think you could have done this, been a bit quicker about this. Maybe 3 episodes. I don't know. I see what they're going for. I think episode 1... I don't know. I feel like you could have done like a 245 episodes and been fine. I don't think you needed to drag it out and maybe make it 35. I don't know. I just thought the arc was like, okay, this is an okay arc, but I want to get back to the bigger things. It's a nice in-between for the bigger stuff to come. But I'll see you guys next time for the light novels. I do got to do light novel number 8. Yeah, 8. I got to do light novel number 8. Which I should maybe have Thursday or Friday, depending on how things are going. I'm kind of glad I did back-to-back episodes. I mean, 7 was meh, and then 8 was just a bigger portion. Regarding plans with Full Metal Panic, I should be able to get done with Invisible Victory by the end of the month. I'll have to see how nerve-wracking episodes 9 through 12 are going to be. I might just do double episodes and try to get everything close to finish. Not to say this Visible Victory has been bad. I just think this arc has been the weakest so far. It's just you want to get through this done as quickly as possible. Essentially, I could see someone trying to like do speed up on the episode, even like I maybe like 1.5 speeds. But anyway, hopefully you have a wonderful day. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and hype if you can. But yeah, I will catch you guys next time for Volume 8. Anyway. Take care.